Now, if you could just state your name and what chapter that you're in.
Okay. So my name is Curtis Taylor Jr.
Okay.
I am the president of the Zeta Alpha chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Nice. That's awesome. Now, is your chapter, I know that there are also some chapters that are more social and they're more professional.
Mm-hmm.
You said your chapter is Zeta Phi
Well,
Alpha.
it's Alpha Phi
Oh,
Alpha.
sorry, Alpha Phi
But
Alpha.
we're the Zeta Alpha chapter
Oh,
here
okay.
at the university.
Yeah.
So as far as social and professional, we're not necessarily a professional organization.
Okay.
We are a social organization.
Okay.
But we do professional things, if that makes sense, at the same time.
I gotcha.
So
you have like a professional networking events?
sometimes here and
Okay.
there we have them, but what our fraternity was built on was manly deeds, scholarship, and love
Okay.
for all mankind. So pretty much through those aims, we do different programming and stuff for campus that kind of falls under those.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. And also, what involvement does your chapter have on campus? Because I've seen, like for example, I've seen AKA, they've had, like I've seen a couple of recruitment events in Memorial. I'm just curious, what's your involvement that you have here on campus?
So we have a lot of things. For breast cancer, we just did an event that we do every year called Pink Matters.
Okay.
Where we spray paint our hair pink to raise awareness
really?
for breast cancer. And we opened it up to campus to participate as well. So
Okay.
we had over 100 people participate in that, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we also donate money to Susan G. Coleman
cool.
to help with cancer research. Coming up on Wednesday, we have an event called the Brown Paper Bag.
Okay.
And it kind of breaks down and deconstructs the idea of light skin versus dark skin within the African American community and the complexes that we've kind of put upon ourselves.
Yeah.
We have an event coming up on Saturday called Fright Fest, where we're going to take students to a local haunted house in Corn Maze to kind of give them experience together for like Halloween. And then Sunday, we have an event called First Sunday in collaboration with the Games on the Black Culture Center to take people to church. And then they come back here, eat soul food for free. And then on Monday, we have our event for Made in America to help raise awareness for voting and voter registration on next week. On the 4th. So we'll be giving out free t-shirts and stickers and stuff like that. So
Oh, that's great. Yeah, voter registration is very important. I think a lot of students don't really know about that. That's great. I know there are some aspects of your chapter that are different from chapters here on campus, like for example, like chapters in IFC and like chapters in PHA organizations.
Yes.
Like, what do you think is different from your chapter?
So I mean, different things like we don't have houses. At least on campus or in the campus grounds area, like some Greek houses that are in Greek town. So I think that's a little different. Our chapters are extremely small. So right now, currently, our chapter has 7 members on the roster.
Okay.
And I would say in my 2 years being a part of MPHC, that's one of the things that I've noticed that's so different is our membership is never consistent. There's never like a number that we can know that we'll have at one time. And just our recruitment is a completely different setup of how you do it. And you never really know when your chapter is going to bring in new members.
Okay.
So it constantly fluctuates. I would say that's one of the biggest differences that we have. But I mean, we still do the same thing, philanthropy, have paraphernalia, everything like that. So.
Definitely. So you said that your recruitment is a little bit different. Like you don't really know when members are going to come in. So is your recruitment formal, or is it kind of like a little bit informal?
It's more informal. So how most MPHC chapters work is you have to get to know the people in that chapter, and then you have to formally express interest, whether it be verbally or through a letter of interest, typically through the chapter president. And then from there, you're kind of on their radar that you're interested. You are expected at that point to attend events hosted by that fraternity or sorority, and just really get to know the brothers and sisters within that chapter to really build a bond. And then after that, you go through whatever national process is required for that organization. After completing, most organizations, you have to at least be a second semester freshman to even do it. as far as MPHC goes, and you
Okay.
have to have at least 2.5, and then for the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha, it's a 2.3,
Oh, okay.
depending on their sliding scale.
What do you mean, like a sliding scale?
So, because our university, and because this is my chapter, there's only so much I can say about it, but
Okay.
because of our university, with their national kind of guidelines of what they do and what they don't do,
Okay.
it depends on how your university's grade scale is set up.
Right.
So in order to be across the board
Mm-hmm.
at the University of Missouri, it's a 2.3 for them,
All right.
but it's typically a 2.5.
Okay, nice. Also, does your chapter have scholarships or certain rewards? Like, for example, I'm in a sorority. I'm in Tri Sigma, and
Okay.
we have a scholarship, $2,500 scholarship that we give out to a woman that we believe exhibits great character of our chapter and also has great academics. And we also have a leadership award that we give to a woman in our chapter that we also believe exhibits great leadership in our chapter, and we also believe that can also be a future great leader. And also, she gets to go to the national conference for Tri Sigma, which is held in Virginia, which is it's in Virginia. I know that last year it was in Missouri, but I know this year it's going to be Virginia. So, do you guys have any scholarships or rewards that you give out to members in your chapter?
We don't have a scholarship that we give out to our members in our chapter.
Okay.
But every year we do in the spring during our week that we have. So each MPHC fraternity and sorority has a week that they do during the school year. And in that week we give out scholarships during our Miss Black and Gold scholarship pageant. So we have girls who sign up to be a part of that, and they work all spring semester getting prepared for this pageant. And so last year we gave out over $5,000 in scholarship, and we actually give out more here at our chapter for Alpha Phi Alpha than our national organization gives out.
Really?
So that's one of our really big claim to fames. And then we also do an oratorical contest every year, which is named after Clarence B. Wine. And so in this oratory contest, the best orator and second place also get scholarships. So last year, our first place orator got $500 or $750, and then the second place got $250. So really more focused on community rather than our chapter itself. So yeah, I guess that's the only thing that's kind of different.
Okay. And last question is going to be a little bit about finances. Like, for example, when I pay dues, there's some things that are included in dues, like for example, like socials and apparel. What are some things that are included in your dues? Or I don't know if your dues are a little bit less expensive or a little bit, or just about even. Like, for example, like if there's some things included in your guys' dues, like some socials or apparel, or if you guys get to go on professional networking trips. Like I know that usually one of the women that's selected in the leadership, or she gets a leadership reward, that's included in her dues.
Okay.
So.
As far as our dues go, it's only a certain amount that's expected for you to pay for the entire year.
Okay.
But we don't have a specific breakdown of what that money's allotted to.
Okay.
So it's more so just knowing that for the prosperity of the chapter and whatever programming we're trying to do for the community, that's what that money is used for. And then throughout the year, we'll like randomly get apparel and just T-shirts and stuff like that. But we don't have like a set guideline like, this includes a T-shirt and a hoodie and all of that. So no.
Okay.
It's not a breakdown like that.
All right, gotcha. Well, that's all that I have to ask you.